Today, I am joined by Mary Howard for her upcoming course, Intentional Differentiated Interventions to Accelerate Literacy Success Across the Day for grades K through 5. She's going to share a little bit more about her upcoming course, so let's jump on in. First question I have for you is, how does your professional experience, how did it lead you to study the intervention process?
Well, everything in my career has led me to this moment. I've been an educator for 49 years, a reading recovery teacher, title teacher, resource teacher, reading coach. And so my passion has been for those fragile learners. You know, in recent years, we've had something called response to intervention and MTSS. The problem is that what's happened is, while they sounded like a good idea in theory, they have not become a good idea in practice. And I wrote a lot about that in my book, RTI from All Sides, What Every Teacher Needs to Know. So everything led me to this moment.
To this exact moment. We love it. So the title of your session, you refer to differentiated interventions. Can you explain what that means?
Well, first, I want to emphasize that in order to support those fragile learners, we can't view interventions as something that has to happen in a 30-minute literacy block where we're pulling children. We will not close the gap in 30 minutes. We have to make sure that we're looking beyond that, broader. So a differentiated intervention, over the years, as I've been thinking about what are the things that are problematic in all of the frameworks that we're using right now, I started to coin this term differentiated support that allows us to expand what, when, where, and how we offer that support. So if the gap isn't very wide, even though children aren't where they need to be, it means that we won't pull them out of the classroom at all, but we'll offer those supports in the classroom. If the gap is wider and we decide, and we may, that children do need to be pulled out of the classroom, then we'll make sure that we're also giving them supports in the classroom. So again, we're not just thinking of that 30-minute block. And always, if we do that, with the goal of getting children back in the classroom. So it's about not having a knee-jerk reaction to using those higher tiers, but thinking about what we can do to support children all day.
Okay. So then, if the interventions should occur across the whole learning day, who would most benefit from this session?
Well, every teacher who has responsibility of any kind for children, because the whole point of a differentiated intervention is having collective commitment. So that we are able to offer coordinated support. And that's the problem with thinking of interventions as this thing we do when children leave the room, because it's almost like the right hand doesn't know what the left hand is doing. And so we want to think about not just what we can do in that 30 minutes, but what we can do in 6 hours, what we can do across the learning day. So we don't want to reduce our view to virtue of real estate, that an intervention is something we do over here, but that an intervention is something that we do to support children in whatever way we need to support them, no matter where they are. And that's why that collective commitment is so important.
Yeah. Okay, last question, kind of a hard one. What are the big ideas that you think teachers will take away from this session?
Oh, goodness. I think there's really 3 big ideas that are absolutely crucial for teachers. The first one is that pullout, again, has got to be the last resort, not the first. Because anytime we remove children from their classroom, it's a trade-off. We're taking something away from them that in many cases is the most critical feature. Also, we want to remember that we're taking away from them the community. So we preference the classroom teacher when we can. That's number 1. Big idea number 2 is that by law, interventions have to be in addition to, or what Marie Clay called in addition to, meaning that we're not robbing them what other children are getting, but we're giving something more. So we're not supplanting or substituting what we do in the regular classroom, but we're giving them that in addition to. And Linda Dorn and Carla Sophos call that layering, so that we're giving them what everyone gets, but then a little bit more. And big idea number 3, and I think this is so important to the concept of differentiated interventions, is that no matter where we decide that we need to support children, we have to redefine what counts as interventions. We typically think of something we do in 30 minutes, but an intervention can happen in 2 minutes as we're rotating around the classroom, supporting or observing or assessing children, in 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or it can even happen in a whole class experience where we make a decision in that moment to pause or talk a little bit more about a word, or say, boys and girls turn and talk. So probably one of the features that is about all of these big ideas is that we have to stop thinking of an intervention as something that we put into this time box, but something we do all day.
Love it. Love what you've told us. Want to know so much more, but that just means we'll have to check out your course.
Absolutely.
Get the full scoop there. So thank you for chatting with us. We're really looking forward to more of the strategies and ideas for accelerating literacy success across the day. So thank you for talking today, Mary.
Thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you, teachers.